Hello everyone and welcome to Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's the USL Championship Western Conference semifinal here in the 505 for the second consecutive year. The stakes are massive, the atmosphere is electric, and the path to glory runs through the lab tonight. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tyler Ortega, joined as always by Chris Hurst. And Chris, simply put, it is win or go home tonight.
Yeah, massive match tonight, and two teams absolutely bang on form heading into this one as well. So going to be really interesting to see how they set themselves up, whether it's a cagey affair because of what's at stake or whether two teams just go for it.
And this is what's at stake here as we take a look at the USL Championship playoff bracket. All eyes on the left side here as Phoenix and Tulsa currently doing battle. We'll see New Mexico squaring off here with Orange County. But what's at stake, Chris, is a place in the Western Conference final here tonight. That is a place New Mexico have never been before.
Yeah, and it really is a huge carrot dangling there. And, you know, New Mexico United fans and fans around the league will be forgiven for glancing across at how scores are going and dreaming. And people will be dreaming all night tonight.
Well, let's have a look at our players to watch this evening, brought to you by Toyota. We're going to start off first with New Mexico. And it's Valentin Noel coming off a goal last week in the 58th minute against San Antonio.
Valentin Noel acquired just a couple of months ago, and a huge ad for New Mexico United in terms of attacking prowess. Really familiar with the way that Dennis Sanchez wants to play. And, you know, whenever he finds the ball, he's given free range to kind of go drift and find where the ball is. And when he does, it normally spells danger for the opposition.
On the other side here for Orange County, speaking of danger, it's their man up top, Ethan Zubak, coming in, team leader in goals scored with 11.
Yeah, 11 goals this season. He scored 11 last year as well, so he's looking to go one better. Hasn't scored since October 1st in the 2-1 loss to Sac Republic. So unfortunately for New Mexico United, he's due.
Well, these two will be looking to get things started here tonight. Again, your players to watch brought to you by Toyota. We're going to step aside for just a moment, but before we do, we'd like to let you know that the 2025 season and tonight's match, both brought to you by Sandia Resort and Casino, close to home, far from ordinary.
Blake's, we're proud to call our food fresh. We think every burger should be cooked to order and fresh off the grill. This patty's big, blockbuster big, and 100% Angus beef. Now, the finishing touch. This is a superior meat to bun ratio for the best burgers your mouth's ever tasted. Blake's Fresh Take is worth the wait.
This is Robert reading for Victor, and action.
Mary, I love you more than anything, but this student debt, it's like a weight I can't shake. I'm drowning.
Now you're angry. Go.
But this student debt, it's like a weight I can't shake. I'm drowning.
You're full of sorrow.
I'm drowning.
And cut. Great. We'll be in touch.
Good thing I went to C&M.
How about Mary?
Back here at the lab, tension starting to build as kickoff looms. Let's have a look at our starting lineups here this evening, brought to you by Will Ferguson and Associates. Chris Dennis Sanchez makes 0 changes to his side that came out victorious over San Antonio last week.
Yeah, and can't really blame him either. You know, a case of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Really solid at the back, and Chris Shake's doing the job between the sticks.
Chris Shake's coming off his first career playoff clean sheet last week. Let's take a look here at the visitors as head coach Danny Stone makes 1 change, and it's a necessary one, Chris. Glaring absence tonight for Orange County. No Chris Hagart on the left. We're going to see Usman Silla inserted into the starting lineup following the red card suspension.
Yeah, and that's a huge loss for Orange County. Leads the team in chances created and assists. And New Mexico United won't be unhappy about that change, as last time out here at the lab when Orange County visited, Hagart had 3 assists, assisted all 3 goals for Orange County, so that's a huge miss.
And that match took place here on this field 4 weeks ago to the date. It was a 6-goal shootout as kickoff tonight presented by Bank of America. And fans, we'd like to let you know that you can enter the Prinks Tires Family Game Day Kit Sweepstakes for a chance to win a prize pack worth up to $4,000. Scan the QR code on the screen to enter today. As we were talking about, these 2 teams just had a 6-goal thriller between them here 4 weeks ago. And yeah, Hagart played a big part in that for Orange County. A hat trick of assists, if you will. It was a brace for Tristan Traeger. And with that, the Western Conference semifinal is underway. Tristan Traeger getting the start here tonight, and coincidentally, those are the only 2 goals that he's scored so far this season. Orange County, they've struggled here in Albuquerque, Chris. The last time Orange County picked up a win in the 505 was 2019. They've been outscored since 9-5 in 4 games. New Mexico, 2 wins, 2 draws during that time.
Yeah, I think we mentioned that on last week's broadcast as well during the game, that really form irrelevant. Almost. You can almost just wipe it away. I mean, one thing that is clear tonight is this is 2 teams, mentioned it in the intro, 2 teams bang on form. San Antonio with the win against Sac Republic last week are now 6 undefeated. New Mexico 8 undefeated now. So 2 teams hitting peak form at exactly the right time.
We've got a score update for you from the Eastern Conference. Rhode Island moving on to the conference final, Chris, for the 2nd consecutive year. What an incredible start to their club history.
Yeah, I mean, to do it in back-to-back seasons is impressive enough. To do it in the first 2 seasons of existence is unbelievable.
Scoreless between Riverhounds and Detroit. Also scoreless at halftime between Tulsa and Phoenix Rising. And so the scenarios, Chris, let's get these laid out here early in this one. If Tulsa defeat Phoenix, the Western Conference Final will be held in Tulsa next week at One Oak Field. However, if Phoenix are victorious. And New Mexico are also victorious. Then we're going to be playing here again next weekend, with Phoenix making the trip to Albuquerque for the second consecutive postseason. And of course, if Orange County win, we got to figure all of that out. I think it's Phoenix that'll be hosting in that scenario.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, number 6 against the number 7 seed, correct? Yep.
That's Dennis Sanchez on the touchline here for New Mexico, and it's his first season with the club and guided the team to a third-place finish in the Western Conference. Picked up 25 out of a possible 45 points here at home over the regular season. 7 wins, 4 draws, 4 losses. But Chris, we talk about recent form. New Mexico unbeaten in their last 8 in USL Championship play. That's their longest ever run.
Yeah, and again, just mentioned that. I mean, what a time to kind of pick up that form. There was a bit of a rough patch for both teams. I mean, even Orange County, they were on the outside looking in, I think, with about 3 or 4 games to go. And, New Mexico United, I think it was in July time, had a really rough stretch where they just couldn't buy a win, and that coincided with when Kip Keller was added to the team and a bit more, because injuries were really taking the toll on New Mexico United, and really turned the corner, and it wasn't without its bumps on the road, but yeah, down the stretch here, New Mexico United and Orange County, both teams have really, really hit their stride.
Yeah, and speaking of Orange County, they come in 6 consecutive unbeaten. We were talking just before we went on air, Chris, and it wasn't that long ago that Orange County found themselves on the outside looking into the playoffs, and here they are once again in the conference semifinal.
And head coach Danny Stone, he has experience. He was the assistant coach with Phoenix Rising, who entered the playoffs in 2023 as the number 6 seed and went all the way and won the whole lot. So I mean, it wasn't as a head coach, but he certainly has experience taking a lower seeded team all the way through. So that's something to be cognizant of as well.
Danny Stone just signed a contract extension last month. They'll keep him with Orange County until the end of next season. This is his first full season with the club, having joined just past the midway point last year. Started the season as Phoenix's head coach last year. Phoenix decided to move on very early in the season, and it seems as though it's worked out for Danny Stone. And conversely, for Phoenix as well, they're playing in the conference semifinal tonight. Here's New Mexico looking to generate something. Chris Gloucester gets on the end of this. And that ball cleared away, and New Mexico have won the first corner of the match. Corner kicks brought to you by Topo Chico Hard Seltzer. Hello, crisp, refreshing taste. Hello, Topo Chico Hard Seltzer. There is Danny Stone. We can talk a little bit more about him here in just a moment, as New Mexico knocking on the door here just after the opening 5 minutes. Dayon Harris, former Tampa Bay Rowdies man. This is his second season in New Mexico. Harris sends the cross in. Dealt with. Almost looked like Traeger might have gotten the head to that ball. That is Chris Gloucester. Gloucester tonight making his 59th USL Championship appearance for New Mexico. Gloucester so far this season, a couple of goals in league play. This ball flicked on, and Kip Keller was inches away from getting ahead to that one.
Yeah, it's a theme of the 2025 season. You see it all across the world as well. The long throw there, and the flick, the designed play, the flick by Kalen Ryden and Kip Keller. It looked like he was just going to get on the end of it. You can see he's almost willing his neck to just extend a little bit. So close to giving New Mexico United the lead.
Well, Kip Keller, he found the back of the net against Orange County here 4 weeks ago in the 51st minute. And in fact, that was the first professional goal in the career of Kip Keller. This ball sent long, and it's going to find Kip Keller. That's going to give us Time for this 5:29 game update, and that's brought to you by the Education Plan, New Mexico state-sponsored 529 plan. Give your kids a better and brighter future. Learn more at theeducationplan.com.
And that was Kelly there, just pulled up for the foul, but you can see New Mexico United playing with fire a little bit there, a little maybe taking some risks, trying to play out from the back, and Orange County definitely smelled blood and set the press and almost nicked the ball off New Mexico, and if that hadn't been a foul, they were in real trouble.
Kelly hit an absolute stunner here last time out against New Mexico. He was on the score sheet that day alongside two from Tristan Traeger. Orange County scored all 3 goals in the first half. New Mexico, by way of that 51st minute header from Kip Keller, able to equalize. Kwele Akale fouled there. And you talk about somebody that is in incredible form. Kwele Akale, Chris, he has been on an absolute tear.
Absolutely there. Maybe that was Dogman, I believe, on the left back there for Orange County, who absolutely left one on him. You saw how Akale was spanned to the ground and unceremoniously dumped to the turf.
First able to get a touch, but Kwele Akale in an offside position at the time. New Mexico, they were cooking something up there.
Yeah, that was really tight. There was just a little touch as Greg Hurst plucked it out of the air, and Akale had banked on the touch happening as well, and it maybe just gone a step early.
These are your keys to the game, brought to you by the Somos Unidos Foundation. Keep Zubac contained, get Noel involved, and utilize that home field advantage. As we mentioned, it's been quite some time since Orange County walked out of this building winners. And in fact, it's been quite some time since Orange County actually beat New Mexico. You got to go back to July of 2023. Black and yellow have really had the number Orange County since. Here's Maples. 10 minutes already gone by. There's that long ball from Kip Keller. Picked up his first assist of the season last week with one of those that caught the foot of Valentin Noel, who then doubled New Mexico's lead in the second half. Chris, it feels like these first 10 minutes have just flown right by.
They certainly have, and you never know how teams, it's such a big occasion, how they're going to come out. Is it going to be a cagey affair and teams afraid to, maybe more afraid not to lose than to go and try and win it? But it certainly looks like New Mexico United playing on the front foot.
Akale, as that ball cleared out by Pinto. Zalalam now sends this into the box. Akale just missed. New Mexico generating the opportunities early.
And it's the movement of the front three as well. Harris, Akale, Hurst, and with Noel just behind as well. He's almost playing alongside Hurst at times as well. But that movement from out to in, so hard to pick up. Does the centre-back pick him up? Does the left-back, Dogman, does he pick him up? And it ends up being neither. And you can see, could he have gone with his head? Possibly. He tries to go with his favoured left foot, and just unfortunately gets it wrong for New Mexico.
Dogman goes back to Latinovic. It's the Frenchman Valentin Noel. Mid-season acquisition for Dennis Sanchez. He was added to the team on July 25th, debuted the following night in San Antonio, scored after being on for just 8 minutes. What a way to announce yourself to your new club. And then, Chris, he followed that up with a near midfield wonder strike against his former club in Las Vegas for his first goal here at the Lab as well.
Yeah, he's certainly not a one-trick pony, as you could say. You know, he's a bag of tricks and so comfortable on the ball as well. The key for Noel is just getting him on the ball more. And you can see there, he just drifted a little deeper there to get on the ball, try and make things tick. And I'm sure we'll see that a little bit more as the half progresses as well.
A foul called on Kip Keller. He tried to make a run into the midfield and just heavy touch, gave the ball away. Didn't really have a choice after that. That is our official. Elton Garcia just didn't like what Greg Hurst had to say there. He and Ben Alcazar exchanging words. This ball hit deep. That's Jamison on the far side. The offside flag is up. This is the 11th meeting all-time between New Mexico and Orange County. It's the first, Chris, that takes place in the postseason or outside of USL Championship regular season play, for that matter. New Mexico do hold the edge in the all-time series. 4 wins for the Black and Yellow, 2 wins for Orange County. 4 times they've drawn. This one, without a doubt, the biggest clash between these two. It looks like we have a foul throw-in called. Don't see that very often.
You can kind of see a little pattern starting to emerge, so that Orange County, it almost looks like they're not afraid to allow New Mexico to have the ball. Anytime they have it in this zone, unlike other teams that visit the Lab, looks like they're maybe going to press and probe and try and win it in the attacking third and see if they can win it in that attacking zone. And when that happens, you're only ever 1, maybe 2 passes away from creating some kind of scoring chance.
Noel able to get the header on it, settle that ball. Here comes Deon Harris. He's got the overlapping run from, I believe that was Gloucester. This is Gideon Zalalem. Played 64 minutes against San Antonio, picked up a 33rd minute yellow card, his 11th of the season. That is the most for New Mexico. Already missed some time due to yellow card accumulation in the regular season. Kid Zalalem. Great ball from Akale. Here comes Noel. Support arriving in the middle, Noel. And Shuttler, no problem that time.
There you can see it again. Noel this time pops up on the right-hand side of the front three and just finding ways to get involved in the game and just gets the cross a little bit wrong, just cuts across it a little bit and just drifts into the weight and hands there of Shuttler. But again, every time New Mexico United go forward, there seems to be a little uncertainty in the Orange County backline, a little panic perhaps, even though they've dealt with everything so far, and a little buzz about New Mexico United right now. It seems like they're really pushing for a first half goal here and really trying to make things happen.
Dogman could not control that ball. Zalalem has it taken off his feet. Great challenge in the midfield there by Silla. Here comes Jamison now. He's got Zubac just ahead of him. Instead, goes back to Pinto. Now back to Latinovic. That ball cut out by Zico Bailey, Philippines international. Zico Bailey, 13 caps for his country. He scored once. What a flick there from Deon Harris. New Mexico up to something. Noel cuts it back. Valentin Noel. And it just goes wide. You can see what he was looking for there, Chris.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, Orange County had committed bodies forward. Talking about the high press, that's the trade-off. A lot of players ahead of the ball when New Mexico United break, and when they do, especially when Harris is involved, and Gloucester in that case as well, lots of pace going forward for New Mexico United. That little flick by Harris around the corner, and Gloucester's touch, and then Noel off to the races. You can see he only had one thing on his mind. Could he bend the ball in that bottom corner? Started it outside the post and just couldn't bring it back.
Shakes up at the top of his box to grab that ball. As Jamison looking to utilize his speed and get behind that New Mexico back line. Bryce Jamison, the 19-year-old. '24th appearance on the season for the teenager. He scored twice. Had 5 goals last year for Orange County. And despite being just 19, Chris, he's already nearing 90 professional appearances for Orange County. Goes back to Shakes. Shakes really no choice but to get rid of it that time. The pressure for Orange County pays off.
There's that high press again, and really, you know, as coach's hat on, Shakes, I would say, has to clear his lines there, trying to get maybe a little too cute, trying to play out. Sometimes it's just not on, and you have to skip a line. Now New Mexico United look like they're going to be defending a corner.
Prager did well with, I believe it was Dogman that time. Orange County setting up for their first corner here this evening. They take it short. Kelly tries to play it in. Shakes, gets a hand to it. Silla this time. The header, and it's saved by Shakes. Massive opportunity there for the visitors.
Yeah, just about dealt with the initial cross from the corner. Shakes under duress, gets a good hand to it, and then it's recycled by Orange County. Ball to the back post, and Silla directs it, and absolutely full extension saved by Chris Shakes.
Unreal, and it's that sort of performance is what earned him that clean sheet last week against San Antonio. This ball hit long by Ben Alcazar. Shakes comes out for the header that time. Chris Shakes being called into action here over the last couple of minutes.
Orange County have woken up for sure, but just having another look here, you can see, again, Zubak, I think, just putting Chris Shakes under all kinds of pressure. That was a shot that just happened to find Silla at the back post there, and again, Chris Shakes does really well to get his feet moving and get across to deal with the shot on goal.
That by far the most dangerous opportunity we've seen for either side here tonight. Tremendous goalkeeping by the former Penn State Nittany Lion, Chris Shakes. Zalalem turns this ball over. There's a switch, it's Dogman. Dogman, his cross blocked by Talon Maples. Talon Maples, defensive leader in several categories for New Mexico this year. 96 clearances, 27 blocks. Making his 31st appearance here tonight. comes the corner. Kelly takes it short, gets it back. Silla now. Back to Dogman. Just a bit of a miscommunication that time, it appears.
Really well defended set piece there by New Mexico, and springs the counter-attack as well.
This is the shifty Makwele Akale, finds Greg Hurst, and the header just off the mark from the Scotsman.
It's the second time already tonight that we've seen a diving header, or an attempted diving header at that back post there. Orange County really stressed, but I was just say really stretched, I should say, but really well dealt with the corner. New Mexico United just covering the ground to put every single first touch under pressure, forcing Orange County to go negative. Finally forces the misplaced pass. That allows New Mexico United to spring the counter-attack. Akale, as soon as he gets his head up, he sees Greg Hurst streaking through the middle and just overhits the cross.
Replays tonight brought to you by TLC Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. New Mexico looking to create another opportunity. That cross from Deion Harris sent out, but New Mexico have won another corner. Corner is brought to you by Topo Chico Hard Seltzer. Hello, crisp, refreshing taste. Hello, Topo Chico Hard Seltzer. And this is Deion Harris, making his 11th start this season. He came back just after midway this season from a torn ACL he suffered last August, and he has been a massive spark to this offense for Dennis Sanchez.
Both Kip Keller and Kalen Ryden both sneaking around the back post area. Look for some kind of maybe pick play and one of those guys to break free at the back post. Yeah, already having a word with the AR as well to make sure he's watching any hands.
Harris goes back post, Ryden, and the foul called. Free kick coming up here for Orange County. Phoenix, Tulsa scoreless through 65 minutes in Tulsa. Here's Kelly. Then Alcazar will go back to Shuttler. Big turnover. Akale saved by Shuttler. Massive opportunity for the black and yellow. And a huge save there from Colin Shuttler.
That was a huge save, and Shuttler currently, before tonight, 76 saves on the season, ranked third in the entire USL. And with saves like that, you can see that's going to be a tough nut to crack for New Mexico United if he's in that kind of mood tonight.
So far, both sides with one big chance already with the opening 25 minutes. Orange County, this is a team that, similar to New Mexico, made it to the conference semifinal last year and got knocked out. New Mexico knocked out by Las Vegas Lights on this pitch. Orange County went to Widener Field, lost to Switchbacks, the eventual league champions. This one comes back to Bailey. Maples has stepped up into the midfield from his right back position. Great atmosphere at the lab here tonight, expecting a crowd of over 10,000. Playoff soccer here at the Lab just hits different, Chris. As we saw the lines outside as recent as about 10, maybe 15 minutes prior to kickoff. The lines outside absolutely massive to get into the stadium. And you know this fan base would love nothing more than to host a conference final next weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I've actually got a friend in town from Colorado, and I got the text message saying, wow, the lines, basically a little misjudgment and almost missed the start of the game. So New Mexico United fans, they might wait until the last minute to buy their tickets, but they will show up when their team has gone this deep and put on the shows that they have in the last few home games as well.
And this is one of the most faithful fan bases in the entirety of the USL Championship. New Mexico finishing this season, finishing the regular season, second overall in average attendance, only to Sacramento Republic. Zico Bailey goes back to Kip Keller. And speaking of Sac Republic, Chris, they were knocked out by this Orange County side in a drama-filled quarterfinal last week. They went extra time. They went to penalty kicks. There were red cards shown. Roro Lopez with an otherwise painful ending to a storybook career, really. And that resulted in that suspension there for Haggard as well. Massive upset for OC. Looking to do the same thing here tonight. And I think the biggest storyline coming out of that one, aside from the red card, this ball headed into the box, and Keller with the diving header clearance. But Chris, everybody talking about after that game, the change that Danny Stone made with a couple of minutes left at the end of extra time, subbing in their backup keeper, Cadono, for their starter, Colin Shuttler, for the penalty shootout. Danny Stone looking like a genius when it was all said and done.
Yeah, when it works, absolutely looked like a genius. The only time I can remember that happening was the Netherlands, when Tim Krul got subbed in during the World Cup, which huge talking point as well at the time. But I mean, pulled up with 3 saves as well in the shootout, winning that 3-2. But just thought, back to this game here, and New Mexico United defending their zone right now, defending another corner, and it was from overplaying at the back again, getting caught in possession. That high press from Orange County really is causing some issues for New Mexico United, and might be better served skipping a line in this situation here. You can see Orange County turn into a front 2 and really stepping high, and they've won it again. The trap, the plan, you can see what they are trying to do. It's up to New Mexico United to adjust, and right now they're not dealing with it very well at all.
Gloucester that time with the giveaway, but unfortunately for Jamison, just a bit of a heavy touch. New Mexico pinned back deep in their own third. Here's Silla. Silla, an absolute phenom in college. Goes back to Kelly. And Silla just having a kickabout, really. Silla, he was a second round selection in the MLS Super Draft by Houston Dynamo in 2024. Here he is. Jamison, his cross goes nowhere. It's going to be another corner kick here for the visitors. Corner kicks now starting to pile up now for Orange County, Chris.
Yeah, and there's been a few dangerous ones as well. New Mexico United dealt with the last couple that were, but again, it was self-inflicted. This one, good play by Orange County, picking New Mexico United apart, in all honesty, and able to cut through them pretty comfortably. And as you were talking about, Silla was really at the heart of that as well.
Kelly sends that ball in. Dealt with by New Mexico. Partita lets that ball run out for a throw-in. Here goes Silla. Silla had an incredible career at Clemson. Won college soccer's award for the top soccer players, the 2023 Mac Herman Trophy Award winner. He's also named a first-team All-American in the ACC. Dennis Sanchez directing traffic from the touchline here for New Mexico. Greg Hurst able to squeeze through. Here's Hurst. And Greg Hurst has won a corner here for New Mexico. Looks like Benalcazar upset about something there, trying to plead his case to center official Elton Garcia. To no avail. Black and yellow faithful. Starting to get a little eager here. Bailey goes back to Harris. Cross goes in, and it's dealt with. Traeger getting back in there defensively, this time punched away by Shuttler.
Vicious, whipped balls in by Harris there. Put so much pace on them, any kind of touch, and it had a little dip on it as well. I'm not sure who the defender was there for Orange County, but dealt with it really, really well. I think it was Benalcazar there and dealt with it, but it just dipped on him at the last second. So he had to adjust to it as well, so did really well not to give another corner away.
Noel gives that ball away and commits the foul. Noel played 65 minutes last week against San Antonio. Mentioned he scored in the 58th minute. Took a couple of shots, had one chance created. The turnover here from Orange County. Here comes Akale, cuts it back. Akale finds Hurst. Zico Bailey tearing through the middle there, could not control it.
It was Orange County this time, guilty of overplaying and gifting New Mexico the ball in the attacking zone, and both teams being careless in possession in their own half, and New Mexico United unable to take advantage of it.
And all too often, Chris, in games like this, these playoff games, all too often, they're decided by small mistakes like that.
It's either mistakes or moments of magic. That's what it's going to be in all games, because once you get to this level of the game and this stage of the playoffs, all the teams are good. It's now down to those finer margins. It's, can you cut out the mistakes, and can you find that moment of magic to cut open your opponent?
Elton Garcia whistles Gideon Zalalem there for the foul, much to the dismay of the black and yellow faithful. I don't think it was so much that the foul was called. I think it was more so how late the whistle was.
You can see every time, though, when he sees an infringement, you know, if you just watch him a little bit closer, then you can see looks immediately where the ball's going, wants to make sure that there's no advantage to be played before pulling it back. So the crowd in the stadium who don't see that, you know, that's where the frustration comes from. But you can see that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to let the game go, but if there's no advantage, he has to pull it back.
Here's Jamison. Links up with Silla. This ball goes into the box. Right to Chris Shakes. Shakes takes his time getting rid of this ball. Well, we're scoreless here through 38 minutes at the Lab, but not devoid of action by any means. Both teams each with one huge chance so far.
I mean, you can tell, the scoreboard is 0-0, but you can tell how entertaining the game is. The fact that until you said we were in the 39th minute, I assumed we were still in the 20th minute. Time is absolutely flying, it feels like, and that's just a sign of how entertaining the game is, that it's just flowing. Now, there have been a couple of fouls recently, but for the most part, the game really is being allowed to flow and played at a really high tempo as well.
Keller, a bit too physical that time, with two hands in the back of Ethan Zubak. TLC free kick coming up here for Orange County, and Dogman and Kelly just having a word about it. Looks like Kelly's going to be the one to take this. Kelly really the set piece master for Orange County. Sends this one out wide, looking to link up with Jamison. Bit of a heavy touch there from the teenager. Possession given back here, and here's Silla. And saying his name quite a bit. Here's Silla once again. This ball bouncing around, huge challenge. And this is going to be out for a goal kick, but looks like Kip Keller might have got the worst of that one. He is down in some pain.
Yeah, it was a really, really heavy challenge, but it was one that needed to be made. It was last-ditch defending by New Mexico United. It was that man again that you were talking about, Silla, just weaving across the top of the 18-yard box. It was a big tackle. I think it was from Chris Gloucester, maybe Zalalem, and then the ball popped out at the backside of the post, and Kip Keller had to fly into the tackle. He managed to win the goal kick as well, so not get the last touch, played it off the attacking player for Orange County there. So I think that's the question that head coach Danny Stone is asking right now, is if Kip Keller didn't touch the ball, how's it not a PK? That could be the question.
Less than 5 minutes plus stoppage time left in this first half. Tyler Ortega alongside Chris Hurst here in Albuquerque at the Lab. It is a beautiful night for some playoff soccer. Stunning day today, Chris. We had gorgeous weather. That absolutely helping some of the numbers here today that we're seeing from the black and yellow faithful. Keller looking to pick out the run of Deon Harris, and the speedster able to get on the end of this. Greg Hurst arriving in support, and Harris tried to take on Pinto. Great defending there from the right back.
It's almost like Deon Harris had too long to think there. Did he want to try and beat Pinto? Did he want to try and roll the ball to Greg Hurst? Greg Hurst was demanding it in acres of space, and he just couldn't quite make his mind up in time. And again, like you said, great defending there by the right back.
This is the Minnesota United loanee Kip Keller, added to the squad in late August. Debuted the very next day in no place other than Lynn Family Stadium in Louisville. Had a massive debut, had 11 clearances that day for New Mexico as they played to a scoreless draw with the Players' Shield winners, Louisville City. And since then, Chris, he's been undroppable if you're Dennis Sanchez.
Yeah, and really, really old school. You know, that it's a dying art, just the defending. I'm going to have to bring it up. I'm sorry, Tyler, but I'm going to have to bring it up. Like today, the Sunderland versus Arsenal match, everyone's talking about it. Like big Dan Ballard as well, where just defending and just doing the basics right. Winning headers, winning tackles, throwing your body into tackles. That tackle by Kip Keller there at the end as well. Again, just putting your body on the line to make sure that you absolutely are not going to concede a goal in that moment.
Well, Dan Ballard, he's somebody that we saw play on this pitch, actually, just a couple of summers ago when Sunderland were here in Albuquerque to play New Mexico in an international friendly. Great to see them having success, and huge save once again by Chris Shakes.
It's interesting, New Mexico United, the first 15, 20 minutes of the half, definitely in the ascendancy, asking all the questions of Orange County. Orange County did really well to kind of dig in and see that period out. As the half has gone on, Orange County have really come into the game. The high press was what started it and really put some nerves, I think, in New Mexico United. And since then, man, Silla in the middle of the park has really just taken over the game and started. And Orange County probably don't want the halftime whistle to come right now.
Ousmane Silla, 24 years old, out of Senegal. Spent time with Dynamo 2 last year in MLS Next Pro. Scored 7 times in 24 appearances. And that one getting the crowd riled up here. And New Mexico now asking some questions.
From our vantage point, that looked like a pretty bad tackle straight through the back. He got a little touch on the ball. Maybe it was more from the side. You know, it's a foul, but maybe not. It looked worse than it was. Obviously, Akale making the gesturing that the studs were up. That's where the ball was. The experience of the referee there, just diffusing the situation. You'll probably have a little quiet word there with the centre-back from Orange County. He's maybe a little overzealous. It was his trailing foot that caught him. But definitely a foul. I think that's good refereeing there, just kind of trying to keep the cards in the pocket and not making the game about him and trying to just let it flow a little bit. But again, I'm sure he'll have a word though.
Well, this may just be the final opportunity of the first half, Chris. I'm hearing there's going to be 0 minutes of first half stoppage time. Brought to you by New Mexico Pinon Coffee, the taste of enchantment. New Mexico looking to get on the board here before the break. And they don't even get an opportunity as Elton Garcia blows the halftime whistle. And we are scoreless through the first 45, Chris. Give us your assessment of that first half.
A really, really entertaining first half. It's interesting that the whistle was blown while the ball was dead. And that's the question. You can see Sanchez marching out towards the referee now to ask that question. Most referees do give them the opportunity to take that free kick, but yeah, a really, really entertaining first half. So both teams probably had chances to take the lead, but defense is on top right now.
And so we have reached halftime here in Albuquerque. We're scoreless at the break between New Mexico United and Orange County. Halftime brought to you by First Financial Credit Union. We'll be back here in just a moment.
Game on at New Mexico's ultimate game day destination, Sandia Sportsbook. With live wagering 7 days a week, Albuquerque's best sportsbook is ready for action. Bet at Sandia Sportsbook or at kiosk locations on the casino floor. Sandia Sportsbook offers amazing food and drink specials with spectacular views. Sports betting has come to Sandia. Sandia Sportsbook. Game on.
It's time to kick off a new kind of partnership. Meet Carmela from Bernalillo County Animal Care, who is ready to join the game. Your support helps give these amazing animals a chance to play, grow, and to find a loving home, just like Frank did. Visit your local shelter and discover the joy of adopting a new teammate. Together, we can make every day a winning game.
We're back here in Albuquerque. It's the USL Championship Western Conference semifinal between New Mexico United and Orange County SC. We are scoreless at the break. Tyler Ortega here alongside Chris Hurst. And Chris, let's take a look at these playoff brackets as the action in full swing. And we've already got our first final from the Eastern Conference, and Rhode Island marching on into the conference final once again for the second time in as many seasons.
Unbelievable achievement for an organization still in its infancy, second year. So 2 out of 2. I mean, you know, talk about doing things right. That's an unbelievable achievement there. So yeah, well done to them. And the other game now in the Eastern Conference in extra time, looking like it's heading towards penalties.
Yeah, Riverhounds hosting Detroit City. That match already 110 minutes in, as you mentioned, Chris, scoreless over there. And speaking of being scoreless late, we shift our attention now to the left side of the bracket. FC Tulsa, number 1 FC Tulsa, hosting Phoenix Rising. They're scoreless in the 89th minute. And so barring a late moment of magic there at One Oak Field, that match looking like it's also going to be headed to extra time.
Yeah, and that's it. And it's again, you know, Phoenix the number 6 seed against the number 1 seed, 5 seed. Sorry, and it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Once you get into here, you set up your game plan for the game in front of you, and being able to. I mean, Tulsa had an absolutely unbelievable season this year. Well deserved, obviously being the number 1 seed, everyone's top pick out of the Western Conference as well. But again, like I say, it doesn't matter. And they had a tough go of it last week as well against the Switchbacks.
And Tulsa able to pull that one out late against Colorado Springs, knock out the defending champions. And since Louisville City, Charleston have lost, and also Sacramento, that means Tulsa right now holding home field advantage. And so as we speak, the road to the USL Championship final runs through One Oak Field in Tulsa. But of course, all of that could change as that match has just hit 90 minutes. They're still scoreless. And then, of course, our match here. As let's take a look at our news and notes from around the league. Premier League executive joining the USL, Chris. This is a big one. So we have a look also in Jacksonville. Sporting Jacksonville appoints Liam Rose as the club's head coach. Love to see Jacksonville getting things started for their franchise, and also a changing of the guard out west. I think this one really sent some shockwaves around the Western Conference. Switchbacks and El Paso announcing coaching changes. A little bit surprised to see Wilmer Cabrera shown the door in El Paso after taking them from worst all the way into the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I mean, did an unbelievable job turning that around. It was a really, really rough go of it for El Paso last time out. And yeah, exactly. To turn it around, to go from 12th to 4th, that was no one saw that coming this year. You know, that's akin to like Las Vegas Lights last year, where they went from bottom to playoff Western Conference finalists. So yeah, really, really surprising to see that news come out this week.
Let's take one look at our Coach of the Month, and who else with the gaffer from FC Tulsa. It's Luke Spencer, USL Championship Coach of the Month for October. We'll go ahead and step aside. We'll be back here with some first half highlights. You're watching Halftime, brought to you by First Financial Credit Union.
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day. 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 What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
Cuts back to his right. Empty Myers. Save made. Cal Jennings on the rebound. Denied again by Damian Loss.
When goalkeeper Damian Loss was transferred to Louisville City before the 2024 season, he was not only seeking starts, he just wanted to get on the field. Since that move, Loss has flourished. 32 regular season starts for Louisville City last season, and this year, a Golden Glove .70 goals against average. 10 shutouts in 26 appearances in the championship. What began as a transfer to get playing time has boosted his career resume. .70 goals against. That's hard to do. I know goalkeepers, it's not all the goalkeepers. So give me some of the names of the guys who contributed to this impressive statistic that led the USL Championship.
Yeah, no, I mean, first off, I just want to thank everyone at the club, my teammates, the coaching staff, all the fans for making these past 2 years so special for me. I mean, it was a season full of hard work and commitment from everyone, and I've been honored to be a part of it. And yeah, I mean, just truly grateful for the past 2 years here at Louisville, and it's awesome to have gotten the recognition for the Golden Glove.
Your second season with the club, what was your confidence like coming into year two after really a good debut the entire season the year before?
Yeah, I think for me personally, I definitely feel like I've grown a lot through the past 2 years here. I definitely adapted a lot to the league, to the club, to my teammates here, and it definitely helped me have a lot more confidence. I think this year I've definitely had a massive improvement in not only my positioning, but also just my decision making on the field. And I feel like this year kind of, the last couple games kind of reflected that.
Loss backstopped the Louisville defense that allowed just 19 goals during the regular season, the fewest goals allowed in USL Championship history.
Welcome back here to Albuquerque, New Mexico. It is the USL Championship Western Conference semifinal, and we are scoreless at the break between New Mexico United and Orange County. We take a quick look at the playoff scores around the league, and scoreless between Tulsa and Phoenix Rising, headed into extra time. In extra time, still scoreless, Riverhounds and Detroit City. And then, as we mentioned earlier, big win for Rhode Island, as it was an Albert Dequa late brace, lifting Rhode Island into the conference final once again. Your first half highlights brought to you by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm. We're here for you, and we're here to win. Chris, New Mexico looked like they might open the scoring early with that one.
Yeah, long throw causes some chaos and flicked on at the front post. And talk about chaos, a ball slung into the box there by Orange County, and absolute chaos ensued there where New Mexico United just couldn't clear their lines. Ended up with Chris Shakes having to make a decent save there on the header at the back post.
Yeah, and it ended up being a mishit there from Silla that actually turned into a cross, and then huge save there from Shakes, and then this later from Orange County. Big turnover. Makwele Akale with the best chance so far for New Mexico.
I feel like that's been the theme of the first half. Both teams, both defenses guilty of overplaying a little bit at the back and just handed to Akale on a plate there. But what a huge save by one of the top USL goalkeepers this year.
This is a look at the halftime stats. What do the numbers say to you here, Chris?
I mean, you can say it's a really even game. I mean, New Mexico United having more of the possession. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of that was built up in the first 15, 20 minutes. Orange County definitely came into the goal, but expected goals, not always a great judge of things, but pretty even. But you can see shots, 6-4. It's a really, really even contest so far, and that's shown in the score.
Second 45 coming up here in just a moment.
In the land of enchantment, every move counts. That's why you need New Mexico Orthopedics to get you back doing the things you love. The official orthopedic surgeons of New Mexico United. Somos Unidos.
My girls are anything but basic. And with the First Financial's high five checking rewards rate, we basically love living our life to the fullest. We used to wear pink on Wednesdays, but now orange is the new pink, and we wear it from head to toe every day. Ew, you have a basic bank? I got this. Nothing about me is basic, not even my credit union.
First Financial Credit Union, not a basic bank.
Game on at New Mexico's ultimate game day destination, Sandia Sportsbook. With live wagering 7 days a week, Albuquerque's best sportsbook is ready for action. Bet at Sandia Sportsbook or at kiosk locations on the casino floor. Sandia Sportsbook offers amazing food and drink specials with spectacular views. Sports betting has come to Sandia. Sandia Sportsbook. Game on.
Back here in Albuquerque, the second 45 coming up here between New Mexico United and Orange County. This is the USL Championship Western Conference semifinal. And that man, Chris, has gone back. He's made a change here at the halftime break. We are hearing there's been one substitution for New Mexico, and it's Chris Gloucester being replaced by Jalen Lindsay. How does this change things for Dennis Sanchez in New Mexico, Chris?
I mean, the one thing is obviously Chris Gloucester, just the balance he brings being left-footed on the left side, and Lindsay being right-footed. Just naturally, all your tendencies are to go onto your strong foot. So that's definitely going to maybe cause some issues especially in an attacking sense. Defensively, shouldn't cause too many issues, but attacking sense. Also, Chris Gloucester created a couple of opportunities down that left-hand side. One of the few guys who could keep up with Deon Harris. So that's going to be a job that Lindsay's going to have to slot into as well.
There's also been one change for Danny Stone here at the break. Tristan Traeger has been taken off. He's being replaced by 23-year-old Cameron Dunbar.
Traeger in the first half, really on the periphery. We saw a stat where he only attempted 4 passes in the entire first half, and that's just, you have to find a way. If the game's not finding you, you have to find a way to go find the game. So coaching staff at Orange County trying to create a spark and maybe a little more balance. They were very right-sided in that first half, Orange County, so maybe trying to open up that left-hand side as well.
Dunbar comes into this one having made 22 appearances. He's scored twice. As Orange County will be getting things started, and in the center circle, Usman Silla, he was all over the place for the visitors in that first half, Chris.
Yeah, and he just came into the game more and more as the half went on, and again, as Orange County had more of the ball, he was pivotal in that and really asking a lot of questions of that New Mexico United defense.
The initial ball from Shuttler, header won by New Mexico. Now, two teams just in some hot potato back and forth with it, and eventually Deon Harris able to settle things. The halftime sub, Lindsay, goes sliding. And Lindsay, no stranger to playing on that left side, Chris. We saw him play there early in the season when Chris Gloucester was dealing with an injury.
Yeah, exactly. And again, more than capable of doing it. Absolutely more than capable of doing it. It's just, it's that balance, and it's the same, with the two more attacking options with Akali and Harris, with those guys being inverted, meaning Harris being a right footer on the left-hand side and Akali a left footer on the right-hand side. It's nice having an overlapping outside back that is on their strong foot, so that's something that will change in the second half.
This one goes back to Kalen Ryden. Depending on what happens over in Tulsa between FC Tulsa and Phoenix Rising, this could be the final time we see Kalen Ryden on the pitch at the Lab, having announced his retirement a little bit earlier this season. This is Ryden. Almost trouble there for New Mexico. Insisting on playing it out of the back here, Chris.
It is, and there's some nervy moments. It really is like a collective holding of breath around the stadium where you just see Orange County just baying for blood, just waiting for that underhit pass. And New Mexico United, to be fair, did a really good job of getting out of it, but super, super tight and so close away. One mistake could spell absolute disaster.
So it goes back to Benalcazar now. Latinovic. The way back to Chris Shakes. Mentioned Shakes coming off that first career playoff clean sheet last week against San Antonio, had 4 saves. That ball given away by Ryden. Here comes Jamison. Zalalem gets in there to take that ball away. Halftime sub, Jalen Lindsay looking to spring Deon Harris forward. He's got the wheels to track this down, and he does. Harris into the box now on his right foot. Deon Harris. And that ball deflected. It's out for a corner.
What a great ball that was down the line. That's one thing with having a right footer at left back. It opens up that inside left channel.
Here's Akale. Cross went into the box. It was headed away. Greg Hurst off the post. Greg Hurst opens up the scoring. New Mexico take the lead. It's the 8th goal of the season for the Scotsman and his first in his New Mexico playoff career.
New Mexico United take the quick corner, Orange County deal with the first ball. It gets out to Jalen Lindsay, recycles the cross. A flick header by Greg Hurst. Hits the post. He collects his own rebound and thunders it into the bottom corner.
No doubt about it, the second time from the Scotsman. Greg Hurst seeing the home side in front, and there's a look on this TLC replay. Rebounds directly to himself with the left foot. It looks like it may have taken a deflection there from Ben Alcazar.
Yeah, you see Ben Alcazar just a little slow to react, and you're right, he does, and that's probably the touch that takes it past Shuttler as well. Greg Hurst, New Mexico United, they do not care. They have got their noses in front, and I always think in big games like this, the first goal is so important, but the next 5 minutes for New Mexico United now, expect a reaction from Orange County, like what happened in the first half as well. And they just have to make sure they get through the next 5 minutes and really build a base. Can they nick the next goal? But also be very wary of because Orange County have plenty threats on the field.
That goal brought to you by New Mexico Orthopedics, getting you back to you. Greg Hurst getting back on the score sheet, Chris. That was Greg Hurst's first goal in 4 weeks. In fact, the last time he found the back of the net, not just once in a game, it was twice in 2 minutes against Orange County here at the Lab on October 11th.
It's funny how those things come up where you just, you feel a good feeling when you step on the field against a certain opponent or whatever it might be. So obviously, Greg Hurst maybe has a little thing when it comes to playing against OC.
Well, putting some pressure there on Shuttler. New Mexico had forced the turnover. Here's Hurst. Hurst has a shot. Hits his own teammate. It looks like Dayon Harris might have gotten in the way that time. Harris a little slow to get up, a little hobbled. Orange County looking to break the other way. And Shakes comes over to grab that ball just ahead of a sprinting Bryce Jameson. Looks like Stephen Kelly might be shaken up. He's gone down there just inside the center circle. And look, Chris, one thing you do have to take into account, Orange County are playing on 1 day less of rest, having played Sunday and also gone 120 minutes.
That, and then you add in travel. Travel always takes it out of you, and the fact that they're traveling to here, New Mexico, the altitude, that'll take it out of them as well. But it's interesting, the crowd, I think they think he's trying to get a free kick. Clearly there was something off the ball and an injury that he's picked up. Certainly not diving or trying or anything like that, but I don't think the locals have noticed that.
Well, it sounds like Stephen Kelly's night is done. He's going to be replaced by Mohamedou War. And so Danny Stone bringing in some offensive reinforcements here tonight. Mohamedou War, the 25-year-old, he scored 3 times in 30 appearances this season for Orange County. Looks like the captain, Kalen Ryden, just having a discussion with the center official, Elton Garcia. And still down is Stephen Kelly. And so while we got a moment, fans, we'd like to let you know that you can watch the USL Championship final 2 weeks from today. That's Saturday, November 22nd on the CBS television network. The final 2 teams take to the field at noon Eastern, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, with the winner taking home the 2025 championship title. Go to USLChampionship.com for the latest playoff information. So there is the change for Danny Stone. Knowing that his side are behind, they need to generate some offense. His 2 substitutions here in the second half, both forwards coming on, Chris.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And then, looks like dropping Sila a little deeper as well, which we know that he's not exactly going to stay there and just sit as a holding midfielder as well. So some really attacking options in the midfield as well as up front. So yeah, this could be a case of there's still 35 minutes or so still to go. So the kitchen sink could be coming out soon.
Yellow card just came out there from Elton Garcia. That yellow card shown to somebody on the New Mexico bench. I'm sure they were just asking the fourth official where dinner is after the match.
Maybe they were asking where the best salami sandwich is in town.
Well played on that one. Orange County looking to move forward instead. Conceding the throw in here to New Mexico. Comes back to Ryden, and Kalen Ryden making his 147th USL Championship appearance in black and yellow here tonight. It's been an incredible career for Kalen Ryden. Having won the 2019 USL Championship with Real Monarchs before trading in that kit for black and yellow. He's been here in Albuquerque ever since. Again, Orange County picking up another throw in deep in their own territory. Good to see Kip Keller back out for the second half. There was a moment, Chris, where we were wondering if we'd see him again after that knock he took late in the first.
Yeah, that was you and I speculating at halftime, right? When we did see Lindsay warming up and with how aggressively and clearly he was getting ready to come on the field. So we speculated maybe it was for that. But yeah, I'm assuming Chris Gloucester maybe picked up a little knock in the first half as well. I can't see why that would be a tactical change. He was a real threat down that left-hand side in the first half. But being able to bring someone with the experience of Lindsay on in his place, that's huge testament to the depth of the roster this year for New Mexico United.
And this is a roster that looks rather different from the one that we saw to start this season. There's been a number of players who've been transferred in, transferred out. Valentin Noel, one of those that came in mid-season. Spent last year with Dennis Sanchez at Las Vegas Lights, and in fact, Valentin Noel and Dennis Sanchez were responsible for ending New Mexico's season on this field in this round in 2024. And so we've got a huge update out of Pittsburgh. The Riverhounds moving on after a penalty shootout as they down Le Rouge 4-3. And so the Eastern Conference final, Chris, will be played in Pittsburgh as Rhode Island will make the trip, looking to make their second consecutive USL Championship final. Slalom does well to maintain possession there momentarily, and Maples wins the throw-in. Noel. Staples now looking to link up with Greg Hurst. Akale's got plenty of space. Here's Akale. Still on that left foot, Makwele Akale. His shot is blocked. Been a little bit quiet on that outside flank tonight, Makwele Akale.
Yeah, there was that chance that we showed in the half-time break, right? And a few others as well, where he delivered the crosses to Keller and to Greg Hurst at the back post. That was just overhit as well. Other than that, though, yeah, definitely. But that's the danger when a player as dangerous as that can just pop up at any time and just ruin your evening.
Makwele Akale, he's scored a goal in each of his last 3 matches, all here at the Lab. Here comes Valentin Noel, leading the break here for New Mexico. Noel finds Zelalem. Zelalem puts the shot on frame, but it's right at Shuttler. "60 minutes in the books here at the Lab. This USL Championship Western Conference semifinal. New Mexico United lead by way of a 49th minute goal by Scotsman Greg Hurst. His 8th on the campaign. He is the leading scorer for New Mexico, scoring his 3rd goal against Orange County this season. Second period of extra time underway in Tulsa. Still scoreless between the top-seeded Scissor Tails and Phoenix Rising. Ball intercepted momentarily by Harris, but now pinged back the other way. Zubak was not quite expecting it that time. Zelalem able to relieve some of the pressure there with that ball to Ryden. Here comes Orange County. Jamison with the shot, and that goes into the crowd, and that's going to let us know that, give us time to let you know that you can watch the USL Championship in Spanish on TUDN. That is the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. The championship final will be available in Spanish along with select matches next season in 2026. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Harris able to maintain possession and keep that ball in play. This ball just couldn't quite connect with Greg Hurst, the goal scorer.
Yeah, that was war. He just got a little too tight to Harris there, and Harris used his experience, just used his body to shield the ball and roll out of that and get New Mexico United about 60 yards higher up the field.
So with Kelly subbing out a few minutes ago, that's going to see Pinto move up into that holding midfield role and Ward taking over at the right back. And that's not an unfamiliar place for Pinto. He actually played in that position the last time these two teams did battle here just 4 weeks ago. Another change here for Danny Stone. Tom Brewitt on to replace Kevin Partita. Substitutions brought to you by Chiba Hut, toasted subs and sandwiches. Chris Shakes yet to allow a postseason goal so far. His first postseason as the starting keeper, having taken over that role just past midseason from the veteran, the USL Championship's all-time saves leader in Alex Tambakis. Heavy touch there. Giveaway from Orange County. Here's Akale. He's run over. Silla's going to be whistled for the foul. New Mexico with a free kick here.
Yeah, another little reshuffle for Orange County from head coach Danny Stone, with Brewitt slipping into the back four. You already mentioned War at right back now, so 2 of the 4 have now changed. And Ben Alcazar has now slipped into that holding midfield role and just going to sit in front of the back four. And it's interesting, he went straight up and basically almost man-marked Noel. So whether he's being charged with, stopping Valentin Noel from making things tick in midfield for New Mexico United.
65th minute here at the Lab. New Mexico 1-0 as Makwele Akale gives the signal for this set piece. Akale looking back post, and Kip Keller made the run, but Kip Keller judged to have committed the foul there. It was War who got ran over.
He was certainly committed. Keller was going to do everything in his power to get on the end of that cross, and unfortunately there was a defender between him and there, and he didn't really care too much about that. He thought he'd go for it anyway, and he's hobbling a little bit as he comes out of that tackle, but we talked about in the first half, he's not afraid to put his body in places where he might get a little banged up.
A bit of a size disparity between Kip Keller and Mohamedou War. Mohamedou War listed at 5'7". Meanwhile, Kip Keller 6'2". Goes Talon Maples. Maples loses that ball out for a throw-in. That's Dogman. Ryan Dogman, the captain here this evening of this Orange County side, the 28-year-old Norwegian. 3rd season with Orange County. Scored 3 times in 28 appearances this year. That equals his goal total from his first 2 years combined.
Kip Keller there looking for a similar connection to last week, trying the long through ball to Valentin Noel, but you see that the game's just lost a little bit of its rhythm. Orange County obviously made various rounds of substitution, so waiting for those players to kind of get up to speed and get into the game. And New Mexico United are kind of just happy to allow Orange County to maybe have a little bit more of the ball, sit in and pick their moments to go forward a little more sparingly now.
Keller able to cut that ball out. Fall to Ben Alcazar. He slid up into the midfield. Jameson now. Jameson, cross goes in and shakes. Flying through the air for the punch that time. Conceding the corner.
It was a little unconventional there by Shakes, but it got the job done. It is another opportunity for Orange County to sling the ball into New Mexico United's box, though.
So no Stephen Kelly. That means Usman Silla will take the set piece. Here comes the outswinger. That ball, contact made. Orange County tie things up here in the 68th minute. Malik Pinto to the rescue.
Pinto was wide open on the back post. It's almost like New Mexico United were caught off guard, surprised with the outswinger. And he had the freedom, but Pinto didn't even need to take a touch. He just smashes it first time, and Shakes doesn't have time to move his feet, get his body across. Now we're all tied up.
That is the first Orange County goal for Malik Pinto in just his 12th appearance, having joined the club late this season from Colorado Rapids 2. He was no stranger to scoring there, Chris. He netted 4 times in 24 appearances in MLS Next Pro this season.
And you can see the confidence he has there, just taking that shot on first time. Great little striking. Does well to keep it down, hits it into the ground. And, you know, the bounce kind of takes it past Shakes. But again, it's the surprise. No one in the same zip code as him trying to mark him. Not sure who lost their mark there, but the Inquisition will be after the game. Now New Mexico United with it all to do again.
Well, this sets up for an entertaining 20 minutes. Perhaps, should we need it, extra time as they are going through it in Tulsa. Phoenix and Tulsa currently tied, still scoreless. Set piece coming up here for Orange County. Elton Garcia wasn't quite ready for them to get started. Taken short. Here's Dogman. Cross goes into the box. Headed away by New Mexico, but another throw in here for Orange County.
I mean, it was pretty obvious that Orange County were going to play short there, and it took too long for anyone from New Mexico United to get out and challenge and force them to make a decision, and dealt with the ball into the box, but still, Orange County definitely have a little pep in their step now.
There's been Alcazar, and he goes down. Gideon Zalalem called for the foul. The 2021 title winners starting to gain some momentum.
Yeah, you can sense it, and the crowd in the stadium, in the building here can sense it as well. And there, Zalalem puts his hands up to say he didn't touch him, but in the 5 steps before that, he had his arms all over and gave Ben Alcazar an opportunity to go down and an opportunity for the referee to make a decision.
Already 1 assist tonight from Usman Silla from an angle similar to this. Gives the signal once again. Silla sends it in, and it was Jamison who had the first pop. Comes back to Silla. Dancing now. Silla goes with the left-footed cross, and Shakes climbing the ladder to snatch that ball. New Mexico looking to counter. Harris impeded. Play on. Here goes Deon Harris. Squeaks it through Zico Bailey, and ultimately Shuttler out to grab that ball.
I think if that had come to anything, you can see the Orange County bench right now. They feel like Deon Harris, while he was blocked off, he also almost initiated contact as well, and the entire bench, all in unison, jumped up. Yeah, but then Deon Harris was off to the races, and the ball just looked like it was going to squeak through to Zico Bailey, but he just couldn't quite get the touch that he needed, and Shuttler, really experienced, gets off his line real quick and snuffs out any kind of danger.
Lindsay had that pass poked away by War. There's Danny Stone looking to get this side back into the conference final. Noel pokes this ball forward, and Deon Harris. There was a coming together there with Mohamedou War. Be a goal kick for Shuttler. We knew it was going to be a great crowd here tonight, and indeed it is. 10,150 on hand here tonight to watch this epic clash in the USL Championship Western Conference semifinal between New Mexico United and Orange County. Thanks for hanging with us here this evening. Tyler Ortega alongside Chris Hurst. Both of these teams fighting for a right to play for the conference title next weekend. The dying moments of extra time between Tulsa and Phoenix. Looks like that one is headed to a penalty shootout.
It's a little theme of this Saturday night where the three other semi-finals all going needing extra minutes to see a decider. Is this one heading in a similar direction right now?
Here's Harris, able to shake free from War. Closed down now, double teamed Harris. Gets it back to Lindsay. Lindsay able to get on the end of that ball. Cross going into the box, and no problem that time for Shuttler.
You can see there when Lindsay looks up to deliver the cross, and the only people in the box is Akale and Zico Bailey at that point. So it's not a whole lot to aim for.
Late drama in Tulsa. Tulsa have taken the lead in the dying moments of extra time. And it looks like whoever wins this match here tonight will be playing at One Oak Field next weekend. This ball poked forward. Here's Ben Alcazar. His cross blocked there by Jalen Lindsay. Ryden hustles over, trying to save the corner, unsuccessful. So another opportunity coming up here for Orange County. 77 minutes gone by. We'll see who's going to move on to face FC Tulsa in the conference final.
Looks like it was Lukic for Tulsa getting his 7th goal of the season. And what a time to do it.
Silla sends this ball in. Bouncing around. Zelalem got a foot to it. Comes back to Silla. In and grabbed by Shakes. Here's Bailey. They're going to poke that through and link up with Hurst. And Greg Hurst whistled for the foul. Crowd starting to get a little antsy here, Chris.
I think it was a foul. But it's just interesting as well. New Mexico United haven't getting close to the 80th minute now, and they haven't gone to the bench yet. And you can just tell it's just gone a little flat. Need a little injection of something. Looking at the bench, is that maybe a Sergio Rivas and his industry in midfield, something like that, just to add something.
This ball pinged forward for Akale, and Shuttler able to get to it. New Mexico looking for a moment of magic here. 11 minutes plus stoppage time remain. Hurst and Pinto, the two goal scorers here tonight. New Mexico just content to shift this ball around and eventually losing possession. It was Maples. Now the pressure back on from the black and yellow. There's Keller, and he had Zubak closing down. Down goes Valentin Noel, and Benalcazar whistled for the foul. Quick restart. Here's Akale. Lindsay goes to Bailey. There's Harris. Lindsay sizes this one up. His shot blocked. That one had some pace to it.
Yeah, that was traveling. We were right behind the line of that, and you could see as soon as the boy took that touch, it just sat up beautifully for him. So Lindsay thought, why not? I think that Orange County player will have a mark on his back from that one.
Lovely flick from Harris. And Valentin Noel just could not link up with Makwele Akale in the middle that time, but lovely play from New Mexico.
It's a lovely play, but I would love to see that back because I feel like Noel could have took the shot on himself. It seemed like he was close enough. He's inside the 6-yard box, and he tries to connect that extra pass maybe to take out the really experienced shotler, but I'd love to see him take on that shot himself.
Down goes Zico Bailey, and the foul called against Orange County. Makwele Akale looking to send New Mexico to their first conference final in club history. This ball goes in, and Shuttler, no problem that time. Silla chips this ball forward. Benalcazar able to get on the end of it. Here's the goal scorer, Malik Pinto. Fan Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big leagues, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Jamison has that ball cut away by Ryden, but the second ball coming in here from Mohamedou War. Battling in the midfield, and eventually Makwele Akale is whistled for the foul.
It was all a little untidy right now for New Mexico United. There was an opportunity to break there, and Akale just went for the nutmeg. Maybe secure the ball, enjoy a little bit of possession. You can see the frustration from the fans is really starting to leak onto the field now as well with the players.
Impending change coming up here for Orange County. Looks like it's going to take place after this set piece. Silla stands over this ball. Already 1 assist tonight. That was his 4th of the season for Usman Silla. Silla just pings this ball forward into the box. No problem for Chris Shakes. Ryden. Up ahead to Dayon Harris. This ball turned over. Then Alcazar now. They're going to poke this forward. He links up with Jamison. Jamison cross. Dangerous, but just couldn't get there. Usman Silla. Another look on this TLC replay. "85 minutes in the books." 1-1 here between New Mexico and Orange County. Greg Hurst and Malik Pinto, the 2 goal scorers here tonight. Here's Harris. Is there a moment of magic for the Kings of Chaos? As Jalen Lindsay looking to play that ball into the box and missed everything.
That's what New Mexico United are hoping for right now. A lot of the play is in New Mexico United's defensive half. That was a rare forage into the attacking zone there. Dennis Sanchez looking for answers and showing a lot of faith in the players on the field. Maybe thinking that he has the players out there already that he thinks can go on and win this game and can find that moment that you talk about.
Biden goes back to Chris Shakes. Kale able to win the throw-in. Here's War. We were told earlier that Jamison was due to be subbed off. He's still on the pitch. Harris just loses possession. Big opportunity there for New Mexico.
Yeah, really big. And it was almost like he was too fast for the ball. He just couldn't quite bring the ball under his spell. And Dayon Harris at full tilt. He built up some momentum. And yeah, but that was a little glimmer of hope there for New Mexico United, but it looks like there's some really tired legs. Noel, it's really heavy legged right now, really struggling to find the game. Harris is just bursting into life there, but looks dead on his feet right now. So again, will New Mexico United go to the bench?
Approaching the 90-minute mark. Bailey able to cut that ball out. New Mexico can counter, and Mukwele Akale is fouled.
I'll say Orange County with the PK shootout win last week against Sacramento Republic, 4-0. Never lost a penalty shootout in the playoffs. That's a unnerving start, and I think New Mexico United have got to probably know that stat and want to get this finished before we get to that point.
Here's Noel. Looking to break the deadlock here. Are New Mexico nearing the completion of 90 minutes. Hearing that there's going to be about 3 minutes of stoppage time added on here. And Chris, it's important to remember the last time New Mexico participated in a penalty shootout on this pitch. It was earlier this year in Jägermeister Cup play against Switchbacks. New Mexico came out on top that night. Into stoppage time we go. 3 minutes added on of New Mexico Pinon Coffee stoppage time. The taste of enchantment. Maples. Cross goes in. Flicked on. Orange County now looking to break, and Talon Maples will be shown yellow. Denial of a transitional moment there. That's an easy one for Elton Garcia.
Yeah, that was a really that was a smart foul by Tyler Maples. He didn't want to risk what might be coming after that, and only just inside the half for New Mexico United. So for them, you would think a relatively comfortable place to do it. So took one for the team, takes his yellow card, moves on.
That is the first yellow card of the night for either side, aside from the one that was shown to the New Mexico bench earlier, the first for a player. Yellow cards brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. This one taken short. Long ball goes into the box, headed away by the goal scorer, Greg Hurst. Zilla gets this ball up top. Dunbar battling. Instead, New Mexico looking to counter, and that ball sent out. Lindsay heads it on, and that bounces easily to Colin Shuttler. .30 seconds left here in this second half. This could be the final opportunity for New Mexico. Will we go to extra time? This ball pinged forward, looking for Valentin Noel. Looking for one last moment of magic. Here's Noel, finds Harris. Deon Harris! Deon Harris! Unreal! New Mexico going to their first conference final in club history.
Wow. That's literally all you can say. I'm going to steal a term from Sunderland. Till the end. Unbelievable. When that ball was rolled to Harris, he had no other thought except smashing that in the top corner. And like you said, sending New Mexico United to the conference final. Players are stretching out their calves. They are dead on their feet, but they mustered the energy. He said Sanchez and the coaching staff believed in the players that were on the field, and boy have they repaid him.
Deon Harris with a thunderous strike past Colin Shuttler. New Mexico will be visiting Tulsa next weekend. That goal brought to you by New Mexico Orthopedics, getting you back to you. We restart. This is the final moment here for Orange County. Is there a moment of magic left for the visitors? War sends the cross in over the head of everybody. That is the full-time whistle at the Lab. New Mexico, for the first time in club history, advance to the conference final. Dayon Harris with a massive goal in second half stoppage time. The hero tonight.
The scenes at the Lab right now, never seen anything like it. This is unbelievable. What a moment. And Dayon Harris, the man for that moment, smashes it in the top corner, sending New Mexico United through. Heartbreak for Orange County, who played their part in a really, really entertaining game.
Dayon Harris, your man of the match, presented by Pepsi. Also getting the nod for play of the match, brought to you by Vara Winery and Distillery. And Kip Keller is your Valley Defensive Player of the Match. Celebrations at the Lab. New Mexico dancing on to the conference final. We'll be back to wrap things up.
Game on at New Mexico's ultimate game day destination, Sandia Sportsbook. With live wagering 7 days a week, Albuquerque's best sportsbook is ready for action. Bet at Sandia Sportsbook or at kiosk locations on the casino floor. Sandia Sportsbook offers amazing food and drink specials with spectacular views. Sports betting has come to Sandia. Sandia Sportsbook. Game on.
What a finish to this one. New Mexico advancing past Orange County. Dayon Harris with a thunderbolt in second half stoppage time sees the hosts into their first conference final in club history. 2-1, your full-time score presented by First Financial Credit Union. Chris, let's take a look at our full-time highlights. This one was incredible between these two sides. And we're going to get things started here. 49 minutes in. Greg Hurst on the spot. Gets a shot off. Ricochets off the post. Back to himself.
Yeah, first one to react. He flicks it with his head onto the post and reacts quick enough. And a little deflection takes it past the keeper as well. Probably helps it there, but thought New Mexico United after that moment were just going to go on and see the game out. But Orange County had other ideas.
20 minutes later. Off a corner, Usman Silla whips this one back unmarked. Malik Pinto, his first goal in an Orange County kit.
Yeah, first goal of the season. And what a strike it was as well. So considering not a renowned goal scorer, to take that on first time and get the technique right that he did. And from then on, Orange County looked like they were going to go on and win the game.
Looked like we might have been heading to extra time, but then Dayon Harris answering the call. The Kings of Chaos are back, and they're into the conference final because of that strike.
You got to imagine that was with Dayon Harris's last ounce of effort, what he had left in his legs. New Mexico United players were dead on their feet and just absolutely smashes it, and it's all power. You can see keeper Shuttler gets a good hand on it, but too much power in it for him to keep it out.
Celebrations going on here at the Lab, and it's important to note that the winner of Tulsa, New Mexico will host the USL Championship final. You can watch that game next Sunday, 3 p.m. Mountain Time on ESPN Plus. As these are your full-time stats here at the Lab. Chris, tell us about them.
I mean, again, said it right at the end of the game. Orange County more than played their part in a really, really entertaining game. They'll be absolutely gutted right now. But look, for all intents and purposes, that was going to extra time. But New Mexico United, at the end of the day, there was just a few big moments, and they came out on top on those big moments.
Big moments indeed for New Mexico. Big moment for Dayon Harris, one that he will not forget for the rest of his life. As New Mexico headed to Tulsa on the weekend as the black and yellow celebrate with the 10,000 fans in attendance here tonight. On to the conference final. That is going to do it for us here tonight. And before we get out of here, actually, we're going to take a look at the brackets. All matches are now final in this conference semifinal round. And so let's take a look at the playoff picture. And Chris, we are down to 4 teams remaining. FC Tulsa, the number 1 seed in the West, they'll host New Mexico next round. Meanwhile, Rhode Island as a 7 seed, traveling out to Highmark to take on the Riverhounds.
Yeah, going to be some great games next weekend. And FC Tulsa, even though the number 1 seed, they've had to do it the hard way. Both games that they've had so far against Switchbacks and against Phoenix Rising have gone pretty much the distance. So New Mexico United will be hoping for some heavy legs next week.
Well, an incredible ending to this one. And Chris, this is actually our final broadcast here at the Lab of this season. It's been an absolute pleasure to work alongside you and all of our Windfire Productions team. And so for one last time here at the Lab, we could be back for the final, but as we mentioned, that one will be on CBS on Saturday, November 22nd. That'll do it for us here tonight. For everybody part of our broadcast, for our producer, Gary Williams, for Chris Hurst on color, my name is Tyler Ortega. Thank you for watching.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.